Greater Cincinnati doctors received nearly $11 million in general payments from pharmaceutical companies or medical device makers last year. Now, that includes everything from royalties for inventions to compensation for consulting. On the Business Courier front page centerpiece this week, the big money behind medicine. A federal law that went into effect in 2013 amid concerns about transparency and potential conflicts of interest requires pharmaceutical and medical device firms to disclose payments made to doctors. Such payments can be an indication of expertise in a medical specialty or of a doctor's innovative efforts to improve patient care. Dr. Mark Snyder, a tri-health orthopedic surgeon who specializes in total hip and knee replacements, topped the list of local doctors receiving such payments for reasons other than research. Snyder received more than $364,000 in total general payments from 5 companies, according to the latest annual report of the U.S. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Snyder says he, for one, believes in transparency and says it shows the relationship between medicine, science, and industry, which ultimately results in better care for patients. Business Courier reporter Barrett Brunsman talked to Dr. Snyder and others for this story and joins Business Courier editor Rob Dawmeyer in the studio with more on what he found. Rob and Barrett.
Peg, thank you, and Barrett, thank you so much for being here. It was a great story. A lot of money we're talking about here. What are some of the ways the doctors are earning this?
Well, Rob, I'll give you an example. Dr. Snyder, who topped our list, he's an inventor and co-developed a medical system, a knee system. And as a result of that, about a third of his payments were for royalties. He also gets licensing fees. He's copyrighted and trademarked a process that improves the efficiency of operations. It can reduce infections and, in fact, lower the overall cost of care. So some of these are compensation for the work that these guys do outside of just doing medical practice.
These aren't the general payments. This isn't the only source of money, right, for the doctors?
No, we've got several other doctors on our list who do a great deal of research. We've got one cancer care specialist here in Cincinnati who received hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments for leading clinical trials. And as a result, Cincinnatians might have access to cutting-edge drugs that it might take years for people in other parts of the country to have access to.
So some of the other sources of money come from things like giving talks, for instance. How widespread is that?
Well, we have one doctor on our list who is a cardiologist who's been involved in more than, I think, 600 clinical trials, and as a result, he is an expert who is in demand worldwide. He travels to Europe or Asia and speaks to other doctors about the benefits of some of these leading cutting-edge pharmaceuticals.
Well, it's a fascinating story, and you can find out a lot more about this on our website this week. We've got a giant database that really takes a look at all the doctors in town and where they're getting the money, which companies are putting up the money for this, which drugs are the most popular drugs. So you should check out our website for more information on that. And Barrett, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Rob.
And Peg, back to you.
Thanks, Rob and Barrett. Great story with a lot in there.